See what we're talking about?
She was having such a problem with the phone. Yeah, so I'm so like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I've been pretty determined and been exercising, but
So
I wasn't going to do it today. I tried. I set up the
I didn't. I slept.
the mat and got ready to do the first push up, and it hurt so bad. I'm like, I'm not going to do this because 2 days before today, I was underneath the house, an hour and 45 minutes from here, for a couple that that I really enjoy. Really nice couple, just a pleasure to be around. Uh, and they bought a house in Commerce, so they can be closer to their grandkids. Anyway, I had suggested that in the long haul they would be way ahead to put insulation in the floor because in the wintertime the cold air would radiate about 3 foot above the floor, and it'd be like about it's like sitting on the couch and you end up raising your feet instinctively because your feet are cold.
Mm-hmm.
And then put house wrap on top on over the insulation, not to hold the insulation in, although that it does do that. So it's because of moisture. The over the years the house has, I don't know that they brought dirt in, but they did a rock and concrete foundation around it. And I've seen this before. 20s, 30s, and sometimes 1800s. And then what, 100 years goes by, and cutting the grass and moving dirt around, making everything level. Um, ends up being that underneath the house is lower, so that whenever it rains outside, there's lots of water that goes underneath the house, moisture wise. It doesn't necessarily flood like a pond or something, but it could. It just, in this case, it was just really wet. And I had been on there last time when it was really wet, and the last two times actually it was raining. You'd think it was Seattle. And so the moisture has been getting to these floor joists and beams over the last 100 years, let's say, even 80 years, and deteriorating them so that other people have brought in beams to support them in addition to what was already there.
That made it worse.
So I put insulation on 1,200 square feet, and there's only 20 feet, 15 feet that I couldn't, 15 square feet that I couldn't get to. So out of 1,200, that's not bad. Then there comes a house wrap. I couldn't get to approximately 150 square feet of it, but most of it is got house wrap, so the moisture doesn't get to that insulation and pull it down with the weight of the moisture. What's going on? Is there a different phone?
You dropped it again. No, it's the same phone.
What's different?
It's lost its mind.
Which? The computer or the phone?
Phone.
You'll have to do a different phone.
Let's see. I think we're back. Come on.
Because this is like 5 times now.
2 times.
What? No.
Only dropped it twice.
You've unplugged that thing like 7 times.
Why is it?
Leave it alone. There it is.
No, it's not. Verify? What the fuck? Stop. Yes. Back. Why is it not showing up? Okay, we're back.
So
Talking about if things can go wrong.
the phone itself is we're using for recording is not working properly. Uh, so anyway, I spent 2 days underneath that house putting insulation in on my back, crawling, um, so that and pulling in insulation, holding it, and stapling in place, and putting house wrap up over that, and covering it. It's really nice looking under. When you go under there, it's not like a dark hole. Now, when you shine a light, it just like the light bounces off the white, and it really helps to be less claustrophobic, also, and more reflective. So less light is needed to light up an area. But mostly it's to stop the moisture from the ground wicking up. Now you can put in a situation like that, you can put plastic on the ground to stop the moisture from coming up. The problem with this scenario is if there gets to be water in there and it's sitting on top of the plastic, it takes a long time to disappear. Long time. Okay. And that moisture getting on top of the plastic is which you can literally make a pond out of. So anyway, it's done and it has made me exceptionally sore when not just 2 days. It's a Saturday before this, Monday and Tuesday. I got a call on Friday night, like 9 o'clock, and saying that we got a problem with the sewer system over at the mobile home park, da da da. And I was like, I'll talk to everybody and like, including the homeowner that's having the problem. It's like, where's it at? And I was like, that sounds like it's going to be a problem for the park, not the individual. Anyway, I ended up going over there Saturday morning because I couldn't do anything 9:30 at night, and found that the baffle was stopped up, the trip breaker was tripped for the main breaker, the water line, the sewer lines that go across the ravine were washed out and broken. A big dump truck of dirt was gone, and half the gravel was gone that was covering the pipes, and the gravel was like that big. Anyway, I fixed what I could. I unplugged the baffle and got the everything running again for the grinder pumps and the septic tanks, and patched up the lines, and then sat down and tried to figure out what I need to do to get it working again. And so it's a battleground with that. I've got to go back over there some point and see if everything's holding up because it was just put in a temporary fashion. But then so it's been a rough week. Today I did painted parking lot markers.
That's why you got yellow paint all over you.
I have yellow paint on my pants. Don't have very much on my hands.
No, but your pants sure got it.
Yeah, it was my rag. Uh, and I didn't like doing it that way, but he gave me like a small roller and said, "Here, I only have one, and there's two of you, so you'll probably have to go get another." So I had to go get another one.
Who is that?
Lance Hornberger.
Oh my God.
Anyway, he's a great guy. So then we got that. He's like, okay, I'm gonna. If you can bring the pressure washer by 1 o'clock, I'll be at Walgreens. You can bring it by 1 o'clock, and maybe you can go over to my house and work. As if I could paint all the parking lot stripes and pressure wash the two awnings and the back doors and fix the ductwork all in 3 hours. It didn't happen. We really put it to it, and
He has a
the painting
loose.
took us till 1 o'clock, and then pressure washing. When I got the pressure wash, which he brought, he did was nice. Didn't have to go and rent one. No, I have one, but it never ends. That you have to work on them. There, I just get tired of it. Anyway, he bought one. It was nice, and it was nice of him to do that. Saved him some money, um, and it was on empty, so I had to go buy a gas can, and I had to buy gas to put in it, and we pressure washed the awnings, which you're not going to be able to take much more because the hems are all coming loose. I'm going to have to be sewed up or something. But he sold the building, looks like. And then we had to fix ductwork. Somebody had, anyway, I could go on. There was an air conditioning guy to stop the air from going into his fiance's room. He took the ductwork off, put a piece of metal over the the vent, and then duct taped it all, and then put the ductwork back over it. And so she had long been gone, and they were trying to figure out why is this vent. You can put a little key in there, and it opens them up. Which I don't know if anybody knows where the key is, but it wouldn't do any good. Didn't make a difference. So it was empty when I was there. So I climbed up in there, and sure enough, it taped off. It wasn't incapable of getting any air. And then I went and fixed another one while I was in there. Because all of a sudden now I'm the air conditioner man, not just the guy who painted the. And anyway, it's been. I'm sore. Anyway, what I want to talk about today, if unless somebody comes up with something more to say or ask a question, is that you need to protect your reputation. And I'm gonna talk to you about how important it is that you really stay focused on your reputation. And your reputation basically is going to be the same no matter what business you're in. You need to protect that reputation. Now, that is not, don't let somebody else say something about your reputation. That is, you need to do something about protecting your reputation. Now, you can say, put up your fist. How dare you say that about? And that's not what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, that could actually hurt your reputation. But you don't have to put up with somebody accusing you of being a thief or a liar when you're not. You should not put up with that. You need not work for that person. What I suggest is you need to be the person who is always making sure that you're not lying. Always, always do what you say you're going to do. If you fall short, own up to it. Straight up, own up to it and say, look, I didn't accomplish it. This is what happened. Don't lie. Don't try to cover it up. Deal with it. Okay. Be honest with people, but not so. You don't need to tell whenever they're asking you, hey, what do you think of my house? Well, don't tell them that you hate the color that they picked because that's none of your business.
It's not your house.
You don't. You're not there to impose your feelings upon their situation. Uh, so, like, I was talking to my oldest son who was working with me. I was like, you always do what the customer wants. Sometimes you may say you need to inform the customer, hey, you might not want to do this because this might happen. And if you inform them, then you no longer owe them anything. If you know it's going to happen, that's different. You need to let them, hey, this is going to happen if I do that. You don't want me to do it. I don't want to do that. That's not what we're talking about. So he said, I want you to paint the parking lot with a roller, you know. In this case, I painted with the parking lot stripes. But if they ask me to do it, I'm going to talk to them like, hey, look, this is not cost effective. You know that. But if they say do it, that's what I'm going to do. So I told my son, hey, when you go to a barber shop, you tell the barber what kind of cut you want, and if you don't know, he'll give you something to choose from. He want you to tell him what you want to look like, but you're not going to do a flat top on everybody because he likes flat tops. You're working for the customer. Customer's the guy getting his haircut. If he doesn't want, you know, pork chop sideburns, then you're not supposed to force it on him. He's wanting what he wants. So you're brutally honest, great, but don't be doing things to hurt their feelings. So again, understand what your role is. Your role is there to make the situation better, not make them unhappy with their situation. You pointing out everything wrong. I remember going into this real fancy house overlooking the lake, and I can hang drywall and finish drywall and texture and all that. So when I'm walking around, she goes, "Well, I don't show you that. Where I wasn't happy with this, and I wasn't happy with that. This is what I want to be doing." Da, 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 da. Well, I'm not going to point out that she's got cracks up in the ceiling unless she wants me to, because that'd be the same as me pointing out she's got wrinkles.
That's not a good idea.
It's not. It's not a good idea at
It's
all.
not a good way to get any money. It's a real good way to get fired.
What you're trying to do is point out what you can do to make things better for what their situation is. You're not supposed to find every flaw. Now, you can ask them, do you want me to point out other things that I see? And sometimes they will say no. Straight up will say no. And that's what I'm talking about. Being honest is not blurting out everything. Being honest is doing what's best for the customer in an honest fashion. That's what you're there for. You're there to make their life more comfortable. So, I used to tell guys that work for me, um, look, all this off color joking, it's got to quit. When we're at this house, I don't want it to happen. Well, what if the guy likes it? Well, that's different. And same thing. This is period. If you smash your finger, go outside and
say what you got to say.
Yeah, don't disturb their peace because going off. You're messing up their home because you're angry at your life and you're going through a divorce or something. You don't bring that to the job. You do not. You protect your reputation as a good guy that does what you're supposed to do. Does that make sense? Your reputation, when they look back at it, yeah, he was going through a divorce, man. He was throwing things around. He's mad and unhappy. I was kind of feel sorry for him because he was really going through a hard time. He's losing his temper all the time. No, that's not what you want. You're not going to get recommended if you make it uncomfortable for them. And that is what's exceptionally important, that you get recommended for the next job. Funny thing is, nobody asked me for references. You know why?
Because you usually get word of mouth.
The references had already, when they asked, hey, do you know somebody? Or they just up and brag, hey, I got this guy that comes over, but he just did this.
Or your wife pimps you out.
References. I don't. Nobody's asked me for references. I can't think of it. Do you have any references? That's never been a question. Once they listen to me and they understand that the person that they that had told them about me is not inaccurate, they feel confident that I can do the work. They don't. They don't. Nobody asked me for, hey, do you got anybody I can call see if they think you're good at what you do? It's just never happened. I wouldn't be surprised, but it's just not happened. So that is because I have made it a point to protect my reputation. And one of the things that I am fussy about is if somebody just constantly, you know, like, are you sure you're not lying to me?
Oh
That
no, you
starts
don't
it.
want to work with anybody like that.
Uh, I think I'm wondering. I'm going to check because I'm wondering if you're being honest about this price. You know,
We've actually had people do that. You just show them the damn receipts. And then we usually don't work for them again.
yeah, I don't because that person, despite the fact that the evidence is right in front of them, already suspects that I'm a thief or a liar or a cheat of some kind. And all they're going to do is tell other people what they suspect. They just never caught me. And I'm going to warn them, look, if you think I'm capable, then I'll continue. But if you think I'm not capable of doing this job to your satisfaction, then we need to stop right now. If you think I'm a thief, if you think I'm a liar, we need to stop right now. You can find somebody else, and I'll walk away from the money I got invested. I'll straight up would, and I promise you, I will pack it up if you start accusing me of being a liar or a thief. It will not happen. I'm not going to put up with it because I protect my reputation. Not protecting it just because if somebody said something. I'm not going to continue a relationship where somebody else has the ability to just run their mouth about how sorry I am. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to work for them. They've already got a wrong attitude toward me. So I'm not, it's just not, you should not allow that. Protect that reputation. It's like, you know what? If you think I'm a, thief, then we're done. I'm not working for you anymore. It's over. And I have straight up told everybody, pack it up right now. They might get a second chance. Usually, if I give them a second chance, they can't keep their mouth shut.
Lance got fired.
They just can't keep their mouth shut. So I tend not to work for those kind of people. That sounds awful fussy, but it's really not. It's really, I need to feel, if I work really hard at being honest and I work hard to get it, what they want accomplished with the budget that they set out for me and the materials that they want, it may not be the things, the colors that I like or the material that I like, but I do it. If I'm working really hard to do that and they think I'm a thief or a liar, I'm done. I have straight up righteous indignation I will not allow for it. And you should not either, unless you are a thief or a liar. Don't be that. Don't steal. Don't lie. Do as good a work as you can. And then go home at the end of the day. You know what? I may not be the best at it, but I did my best. Protect that reputation. Now, does that mean that because you say it, it's true? No, you just shouldn't say things that aren't true. You can predict and make sure you clarify yourself when you are predicting. I am just predicting that I think this is going to happen. I'm worried about this being what's going to happen. Don't say this is going to happen, because if you do, then all of a sudden you are wrong. It's okay to be wrong, but why would you want to build a reputation on being wrong? Focus on what you can do. Focus on creating a good atmosphere when you're around. Are you positive thinking? Are you staring at the woman's boobs instead of her eyes? Well, you're building that reputation.
And remember, as a handy person, repair person, 90% of the time you are actually dealing with the wife. You might be getting money from the husband, but you're working for the wife.
You're working for the woman.
And she's the one who's going to say
So
yes or no.
you talk down to her. You tell, hey, where's the husband? I'll talk to him. He'll know what I'm talking about. You're
you
gonna
lost that job. You lost that customer.
That customer's probably not going to deal with you if they have a choice. They may be locked in on the job you're on.
But you won't get another one.
You probably will not, and you will not get a recommendation from that person.
You'll get the exact opposite.
So if you have a problem with women, you're at a disadvantage. If you cannot treat women properly, talk properly, act properly, you literally put yourself at a disadvantage. So look into yourself, look into your soul, as you might say, and say, who am I? And who am I going to be? Despite the fact that my truck broke down and I had to work on it all night, my kids are acting up, my wife disrespected me. When you go into that job, you have to be positive. You have to be upbeat and willing and cooperative. Those are not things that come naturally when you're in the middle of a divorce. It is heart-rending to go through a divorce. I know. So, what I'm trying to lead you through is protect your reputation. Try to be that person that makes your presence, your time there, something that people actually want. I have customers that text me and call me just to pass the time, and I enjoy them. Sometimes they get upset because I'm too busy to get back with them. It's not that. I enjoy those people, and I really look at everybody's situation and try to find the things that I like about them. And you can do that. I think that's what Will Rogers said. I never met a man I didn't like. Mm-hmm. You set out to do that, and if you do that, then you're going to treat them better. You're going to inherently talk to them better. Protect them. You're going to do a better job because you are protecting your reputation. So show up when you're supposed to show up, no matter how. Now things can come up. When I used to tell my boys, and they know it now, on time is late. So you would actually want to be early, not dead on time. Now sometimes things work out. You set out to be there early and you get there on time, but on time is actually late. Being there early, a little bit early, is where you want to be, not an hour early, unless you got permission. But 10 minutes. Instinctively, they know that you're going to be the guy that will get their job done and on time. Theoretically, invariably, people, if they feel free with you, they're like, "Hey, I'm changing my mind. Could we do this? Do you think you could do this?" That's something I hear all the time. So now the schedule changed. You see what I'm talking about? These are all part of you protecting your reputation, building a reputation that literally becomes your best advertisement. You can spend a fortune on advertising, but if you don't protect your reputation, people are gonna the word's gonna be out. It doesn't. It's going to be up to you to decide when you start protecting that reputation. Do good work that nobody else sees. Nobody will see it, but wait, somebody does. It's you. You see it. Do good work. Don't do so good work that you cost a fortune to operate, but don't do work that you know is going to fall apart in 4 or 5 years. Because now that person that might have recommended you for 3 or 4 years is the same person that vehemently tells other people that guy did a sorry job for me. So any positive that you might have had is now going negative. Do a good job. If you make a mistake on estimating, own up to it. Man, I made a mistake. I can't, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm going to end up losing money. Now, I have lost money in big ways because I said that's what I do. If it's indeterminate, so I go wide on that. I I add to it because I know I'm going to not see things that are going to happen. Try to dress in a way that fits that reputation. An honest, hardworking guy. Intelligent, you can dress that way too, but honest, hardworking is really what you need to aim at. Stay with it. Polo shirt and all that, we talked about that on another video. Those are all part of your reputation. If you go up in a woman beater t-shirt, your reputation is not going to be held intact. If you go and wear shirts that are off color, it's not the reputation that you want. So understand the simplest of things are the most important. And I'm not saying this from lack of experience. I have experience in the areas that I'm talking about. And it's the evidence is I don't have a script. So what I'm telling you is something I know for a fact because I haven't uh, paid for any massive advertising campaign in like 16 years. Okay. Don't have to. Word of mouth will carry you. That means you've had to protect your reputation. You had to work at maintaining it, just like you're maintaining problems at your house, that you're working at somebody else's house, actually. But you could be at your house too. So I just wanted to leave that as a very common thing that I see. People that have left to work, start their own business, and failed at it because they didn't finish the job, didn't do the job right, weren't honest, just not, it's little things. And they say that God is in the details, but the devil is too. You need to do the things that it takes to protect your reputation, even if nobody sees it, because you see it. That gives you that strength to say, no, I'm not going to allow you to talk that way to me because I am not that person that you're saying that I am. So I'm not going to put up with it. Protect that reputation at that point because you have worked hard at protecting it. And I know that sounds repetitious, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to knock off early today. I would have carry on if somebody wanted to make comments, but that's where I wanted to leave this subject is to think hard about your reputation. So, guys, this platform was set up to ask for anybody to ask questions at any point, and I recommend that you do ask questions because I am eager to answer what I can tell you. So, all you out there trying to start your business, protect that reputation. Build on it, yes, but protect it. All right. I want to leave you there. Remember that you're Americans, not Americans. And I'll see you next time.